Welcome everyone. Adam the Woo here as the recording of this Wednesday, October 16th, 2024. I just got a piping hot caffeinated beverage from the 7-Eleven, Art Deco 7-Eleven here in Celebration, Florida. Disney parks have done it again. They've raised prices. They added a new Lightning Lane experience. News dropped this morning or late last night, one of the two. When I got up, saw the info online, it was like, holy cow, they listened to some, but they also inflated the prices more than some, including myself, thought they would be. We'll talk a little bit about that today. Disneyland, 2 or 3 weeks ago, a month ago, give or take a week, raised their prices on their daily tickets. Now, I am an annual pass holder on both parks. So when I go out there, I just scan the pass and go in. I pay a yearly fee, which is not cheap. However, when you do the math, as much as I go, it boils down to being a much better deal than buying daily tickets. I'm going to talk about daily tickets and really the experience that non-annual pass holders would have for their wallet. I think this new announcement really hurts those folks who are going on vacation, have to go at premier times, have to pay exorbitant amount of money, and now during peak season, I can't even imagine how much it would cost to get front of the line for a big group. I'm going to discuss that. I got a reservation for Hollywood Studios, got my Magic Band, made the reservation, heading to Studios. The weather is freaking amazing out here right now. Join me. Ooh, it helps to drink it correctly, Adam. Join me, shall you? Oh yeah. According to the weather, it's not going to rain, but it's showing being overcast for the next few hours. Little speed notches here. Overcast though and cloudy. Nice little breeze and a very kinky temperature here. It's going to warm up to 70, however. It's going to get a degree warmer. It's 12:15. That is an amazing temperature for Central Florida. I love it. Again, just to reiterate, I'm an annual pass holder, so a lot of things I'm going to be showing as far as price points. I'm going to go on the app, my Disney Experience app, and show pricing of tickets and the new Premier Lightning Lane that was just released. I just checked 5 hours ago. Disney unveiled that, so I'll show all that. Again, for being a pass holder, it doesn't really affect you as much because usually pass holders have been all the rides a million times, just can kind of come in casually, popping in, going on the ones that have short waits or buying the regular Lightning Lane. This really is going to cause more of an issue and indication into the wallet of tourists that are visiting either Disneyland or Walt Disney World. I haven't been to the international parks yet, so I can't speak on those. So just doesn't really apply so much to the APs as much as it would be to tourists. Okay, referring to Disneyland, so this is on Disneyland. Just released this here. So you got Lightning Lane Premier Pass starting on the 23rd of October. They will be roll out. That's a different theme park. I'll talk about Universal Hollywood also. So you go down here, it's basically, you can go on each of the attractions that has Lightning Lane one time. It's not unlimited, it's just one time. Limited quantities will be available as well. How much does the Disneyland one? Will be priced at $400 per person per day. Now, depending on what time of the year it is and depending on how busy it is in the parks, $300 to $400 a day range. So on top of the ticket price, you have to pay $300 to $400 per person to get front of the line, unlimited, not unlimited, just one per day, and that does not include park hopping, just one park. Now over to WDW, which applies to me a little more. I do spend a little more time here, even though I am at Disneyland a lot. A week later, we get it here on the East Coast, October 30th. How it works: one-time entry available Lightning Lane experience for 1 day, just for 1 day, one-time entry, not unlimited. Which I believe Universal Studios Hollywood, it's unlimited. I'm not sure about Universal Orlando. These are the Lightning Lane experiences. Again, if you are an AP or you're buying the way I can understand it, if you're buying a park hopper ticket, you can only use the Lightning Lane for that price point at each park. Only one park, not all 4 parks, which is very interesting. So here's the price here. So $129, this is the Florida prices, $129 to $449. Now if it's at that $129 range during the off season, I think that's a pretty good deal. To just be able to go on every ride, just walk right on without having to go on the app and try to, you know, book the lightning lanes and just be disappointed that you didn't get the lightning lane. $449, that's getting into Universal Studios Hollywood VIP tour status. And for that price, you get way more than just walking on rides. Can I use Lightning Lane Premier Pass at more than one park? No. Lightning Lane Premier Pass gives you one-time entry, Lightning Lane entrance into one park for one day. Meaning, if you buy a park hopper, you can only do the Lightning. Do you have to pay double the price to get 2 parks? You have to pay 4 times the price to get all 4 parks? As Seinfeld would say, I want to know. That was a bad Seinfeld. That was maybe the worst sign. Look at my hair. People coming up with these ideas, he would say, who are these people? Wow. Remind me never to do a Seinfeld impression. It is windy out here. Look at my hair. So I have done the VIP tour, the RIP tour. Well, the RIP is for Universal Hollywood during HHN, but the VIP tour, which is around the same price point, just look at my hair just flowing in the breeze right here. So it depends on the time of the year and how busy it is. But it's between $349 and $449 to get you onto every ride, I believe multiple times. But you also get backlot access. So you get to go, you know, I'm a big movie nerd, so I get to go and see all the backlot stuff. You get to get off the tram, you get an unlimited buffet. You also get a buffet before you even start the tour, so you get 2 unlimited food options. None of that Disney is offering. Granted, Disney's a little bit different scale than Universal Studios Hollywood on the West Coast. I'm talking about the East Coast and West Coast Disney parks, but just to show that price comparison. And also, I should be saying, everything I'm mentioning applies basically to just me, or maybe me and another person. I'm not like I don't have a family of 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 people. Imagine all those prices times that, plus your hotel stay, plus your park admission. Gotta take out a second mortgage. In all truthfulness though, for the low tier, like during the non-busy season, if it was like $150 to do it, I would do it just to say I did it for the premiere. I hope you can hear me with this wind, because this wind is whipping up. The only deterrent I would have is the not being able to use it at all 4 parks. But you tell me, hey, for $150 extra, you're gonna be able to go to all 4 parks and use every Lightning Lane entrance one time. You could knock out a heck of a lot of rides and be well worth that price point. But really, the major deterrent for me would be just that, the one park. There's not that many Lightning Lane rides in one park. It really isn't. And I also might be misreading it, or maybe I'm not interpreting it correctly, and maybe it will change, but that's the way I'm kind of hearing it in my own mind when I read that. Obviously, with all these things, they always morph and change. You notice that Disney always changes their Fast Pass, their ticketing, always changing it every couple months. I kind of feel like in my own mind, I think they do that just so people talk about it and it stays like out into the universe of everyone either loving change or complaining about change. It is windy. It's a little gusty out here. Going to the park entrance. I don't really have a game plan in here today, but there's a reservation open, so I feel like come in. The weather, and plus it's just the weather's nice. How can you not go to the park when the weather's like this? Now my annual pass, I just renewed it. I can't remember if I renewed it out here or over in California. But for here, I believe I pay $1,400. It has no blackout days. Now there is one, I buy my mom one every year, I renew it every year. She'll go 3 or 4 times a year. And the one she has is the Pixie Pass, the Pixie Dust Pass, I believe it's called, for Florida residents. Now it's not available to tourists. Tourists can only, if they're not a Florida resident, have to purchase the $1,400 one. I'll check and see, I think it's between $1,400 and $1,500 one. But if you're a Florida resident, you can get one that's just a weekday pass for $449, which equals out to buying a 3-day ticket. And with the annual pass, you get park hopping included. So really, you have to go twice to make your money back. Now this is the Disneyland price points for October. They have finally surpassed for the first time in history to buy a 1-day ticket during peak season, $206. Now granted, during the off season, it goes down to like 104, 110. There's only a few of those days per year. But during the holidays, It can be between $164 and $206. $206 for a one-day ticket. Now this is the West Coast. This is Disneyland. I'll show Florida. All right, now here is Walt Disney World. See, the highest here is $154 as far as what I'm looking for October. That might go up a little bit in November and December, but we have not reached the $200 plateau. This is for a one-day ticket. If you buy a 2 or 3 or 4 day, they cut you a little bit of a deal. I'm just showing the one-day ticket price for the East Coast, not the West Coast. West Coast is up to $206 during peak seasons. So you kind of do the math and you go a lot. An annual pass might be a better deal to do that if you go a lot like I do. And if you're a Florida resident and if you have availability to go during weekdays, some people don't, some people can only go on the weekends. But if you have that availability to go with the weekday pass. $449. The only time you can't go Monday through Friday is if it's a holiday on a weekday. Other than that, you're pretty much good to go, and you can park hop for that price. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Again, if you can go on weekdays and you're close to Central Florida. To the former MGM Studios, Disney's Hollywood Studios, current day. Now, I saw this shirt the other day. I think I'm going to leave here today by purchasing. It's kind of like a throwback to the old MGM era, but it's like actually has us Hollywood Studios, but it has him with the clipboard right there. I also got Sorcerer Mickey. Last night I watched the third in a row. I'm going through all 62 original animated theater versions, and last night was number 3 on the treadmill, 2 hours on the treadmill, and I watched Sorcerer's Apprentice, which is part of Fantasia. That is a long movie, but yeah, I did it all in one sitting on the treadmill, but definitely love some Sorcerer Mickey. To be honest, I don't really like the individual lightning lane. I never really could grasp, myself personally could not grasp the concept of the individual lightning lane, because sometimes if you get here a little later, if you're not here a rope drop, usually the individual lightning lanes are gone throughout the course of the day. This is new. Check out Stitch right here, just relaxing in the beach chair right over here. Gotta love a little Stitch action. They also just recently announced that the overhaul of Voyage of the Little Mermaid, the Little Mermaid show over here, which was gonna open this year, they were gonna redo it, has now been pushed back to next year. But that'll be exciting when that opens at some point. Also curious to see what's going to happen to this whole animation courtyard and launch bay and all that. All right, going to take a quick little peruse here. So let's say you were purchasing the upcoming Premier Lightning Lane. That means you wouldn't have to use the app at all. I guess you would just like scan your Magic Band to go in. So basically I'm going to just kind of show what there is right now at this. So Alien Swirling Saucers at 12, let's say 15 minutes to 1, there are hardly any lightning lanes left. If you paid for the regular lightning lane now, which is $25 a day, that does not grant you like just access to just walk up and scan in without making a little reservation on here. The next one is at 6:30. Obviously the Premier, the way I'm reading it, is going to bypass even using this to try to... Now the shows, you don't really need to use lightning lane on the shows, in my opinion. So some of these really lightning lanes are not necessary. Like Phantasmic, I think you might get better seating, but you can just show up to Phantasmic at any time. Frozen Sing-Along, you really don't need lightning lane for that either. You can kind of just show up and watch it. Indiana Jones Stunt Show, you get a little better seating experience, but really you don't need lightning lane to see that either. Then you kind of get into some of the character meet and greets, does not matter. So here's what I'm talking about. 12:45 regular lightning lane. This is why I didn't like the regular lightning lane, because you pay the $25, you get here at 1 o'clock or 15 minutes to 1, and Mickey and Minnie Runaway, the lightning lanes are already booked up for the day. So I do like the idea of having just a one-time fee and not having to mess with this whole going on here, hoping you get the lightning lane, even though you paid for the lightning lane, the $25 version of it. Couldn't go on Smuggler's Run till 5:30, even if I purchased regular lightning lane right now. Muppet Vision does not need a lightning lane. Rock and Roller Coaster, even if I bought the regular lightning lane, the $25 one, I couldn't go on Rock and Roller Coaster till 8:30. So and Slinky Dog's already completely filled up. Star Tours, you don't even need a lightning lane for Star Tours. Oh, Slinky Dog, Star Tours don't even need a lightning lane. See the next one, it's a 20-minute wait. You don't really need lightning lane for that. Rise of the Resistance is closed, so it doesn't even matter. Toy Story Mania, lightning lanes are already filled up. There are a lot of changes coming over to the park, and this is definitely going to be an area where there's going to be vast amount of changes as time goes on. They announced a lot of them at D23. Some of them, they're really vague on where locations are, and people have their opinions and thoughts on the matter. But I love the old MGM Studios signage right here. There's me right there. I'm wearing it. Yesterday I went to the flea market and got one of these Aloha shirts. So I have my Aloha shirt on right here. Drinking my 7-Eleven coffee in Hollywood Studios. All right, I'm going to continue to walk around. I know I'm showing my phone a lot and talking about a lot of price points, but this is definitely a big thing that they just unveiled. So I want to discuss it a little bit. Talk about my opinions on it. Again, just to clarify, I am not against the whole one price point, not having to open up the My Disney Experience app and book all that mess with the time frames. I'm all for it. I just think that $400 price point during peak seasons is a little intense. But I'm also curious to see when they finally unveil the time frame of what the price points are going to be and how often it's going to be $400. I mean, if it's between $125 and $200, I could see that being worth it to some. Because I cannot tell you how many times someone's been visiting here, or I've been here with family, friends, acquaintances, been in the park, bought the lightning lane, was not here at Rope Drop around this time. I'm like, we just spent $25, $30 per person, and we can't even get on half the stuff that we wanted to get on. What the heck? So if I could just pay 3 times that amount and not have to worry about any of that stress whatsoever, sign me up. Again, these are just my opinions. I do think that top tier price point is a little insane, but I could get on the $100 to $200 price point. I just looked at the lowest tier price point during off season would be $129 per person. So if you're a family of 4, for just over $500, you don't have to be worried at all about booking Lightning Lane. Again, now that is not the $449 what it could go up to. That is the $129 lowest tier. I'm waiting to see the calendar when they unveil that. I think that's I think that's a good deal. Any price point after that $129, I don't think that's a good deal. I'm just clarifying the $129. I honestly think that's not bad. The problem is during the low peak times when it is $129, the wait times won't be that bad. So then just waiting in the line wouldn't be an issue. Also, it looks like, wow, that's a lot of cast members letting everyone know that Rise is cool. I've never seen this many cast members. Like, look at this. This is like a full-on wall, right? Never seen all of them out here. Because again, the problem I had with paying the $25, $30, $35 Lightning Lane is you never even get on all the attractions anyway. With this new plan, you know, unless this situation happens where the ride is down, you'll get on everything at any time of the day, I'm guessing. Let's say you're an annual pass holder. You have a group of 3 or 4 or 5 of you that always come down, you know, stay off-site or on property, and you want to come in and do all the attractions. Come down here a couple times a year, and your annual pass holder, you know, let's say that we had the weekday pass for $400, so your admission's already paid. You come in, group of 4 of you, $500. You know you can go on every single attraction and not be disappointed. For some, it might be worth it. But obviously the beauty of being an annual pass holder, especially being a local annual pass holder, is half the time you don't even go on the rides. Most of the time, I don't even go on any attractions or rides. I just kind of just wander around. I might go on 1 or 2 if the wait times are short. Looks like Mando's out also. He's not over by his little Rancor door. He's over here. Yes, good to see Mandalorian out. And even if you're not in a big group, even if you're just one person, say you're a pass holder, you live a few hours away, you're making the commute, you're like, I don't want to drive 4 and 5 hours away and get a hotel and then not be able to do all the attractions I want to do. Maybe you come once a month. Paying that $125, I love this Cad Bane. Paying $125. Yeah, I don't want to be misconstrued with my thoughts because I think once it gets above that price point, I think it's a little obsessive. But I could see it working, and I'm sure it's going to sell out. As soon as it goes available, it's going to probably sell out. If everyone's going to do it, I guarantee. What a freaking glorious weather day. Oh, Chewie's way over there. Way over there. Chewbacca greeting everyone in line. Actually, it looks like he's going into the back. See a trooper. Trooper. stanchions. Construction update. He's looking right into my soul right there. Looking right at me. I wonder what he thinks about this new price point system. I don't think he has an opinion. He's looking the other way. He doesn't want to make eye contact with me. He gets scared. Oh wait, they're saying let's move? Oh, he's like shaking his head. He just said no, he doesn't like it. Doesn't like the price point? What do you think about the new price point system? I think it's a little obsessive, or excessive, not obsessive, excessive. Do you like it or not? Give it a thumbs up if you like it. Do you like it or not like it? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs up or thumbs down? I can't get a read on this guy. You're getting into that peak season and it's $400+ per person, and you got a big group. You might as well just get a VIP tour, get a plaid. Probably works out to be cheaper that way, right? Slinky Dog. Go on. I wonder what the wait time for Slinky Dog is. Of course, naturally, if you end up purchasing that Premier thing, you can just walk right up. If it's the one time for this, walk right on. Now this is showing 70 minutes. And keep in mind, all the lightning lanes are already booked up for the day. This says 70 minutes. So if you don't want to wait that long, then that would make a lot of sense, especially if you have a lot of other things to do throughout the course of the day and you add up a few other rides that have that same amount of wait time. It kind of does make sense from that angle. The only thing I really wish is that you would be able to park hop. If you could use that for all 4 parks or even 2 parks, I think it would be a game changer. Now it's just something that would work, but I think it'd be a real game changer if it included all the parks in one day. It's coming around, Slinky Dog. Coming around, coming in hot, Slinky Dog, coming in hot. The more I think about it, I can assure you at the $125 price point, if I am here, if someone is visiting from out of town, friend, family, acquaintance of mine, they do not come here very often, they want to ride all the rides, I would definitely, for myself and the other person, get the $125 price point. That's only another $90 on top of what the regular Lightning Lane, which has failed me many times, would be. I love this view of Sunset Boulevard. Look at that. I got bubbles coming in my face now. Look at the bubbles coming. Oh, dang, the top of the Hollywood and Gower sign, which is usually right there, it's been removed. I don't know why. It's like a 35, 40-minute wait for Hollywood Tower. That's actually not that bad, to be honest. Yeah, what happened to the Gower sign that was right there? Showing the wait times for right now, just to kind of get a bearing on if it'd be worthwhile to pay that fee. Obviously, there is the other one where you pay the $25, as I've stated. I know it's very confusing, but you can buy a $25 one, but a lot of those are usually gone by midday, if not later on. You have to like pick and choose which time you're going to do it. Sometimes if you miss that time frame, it's just way easier to just have a blanket one, like a blanket all day type of one, and be able to choose at any time you can go. I'm assuming that's how it's going to work. 35 minutes for Toy Story. For Mania, Slinky Dog Dash 70 minutes, Swirling Saucers 35 minutes, Rock and Roller Coaster 55 minutes. So you add all these up, and it basically just boils down to what is your time worth versus what is the money in your wallet versus that time worth. It's all basically a person-to-person basis. It depends on your situation. There really is no right answer. It just depends on what works for you. Start doing the math on it. Let's say you wait 70 minutes. Let's call it an hour. Let's call it 70 minutes for Slinky Dog. That's 1 hour. Another 30 plus 30. That's 2. We're at 2 hours and 10 minutes already. For those 3, 2 hours and 10 minutes. Another hour for over here. So we're at 3 hours. Call it 3 hours. Rise is back open. We're at 4 hours, right? 4 hours and 10 minutes waiting in line. We're at 5 hours now, adding that 50 minutes on. We're at 5 hours. Let's keep it at 5. Then we go up here to, we're at almost 6 hours of waiting in line. 6 hours, 6.5 hours now. We go from there, not even adding in the shows. So you're kind of at about 6 to 7 hours of waiting in line for those key. So really, $125, 6 hours, pay $20 an hour not to wait in the lines. Again, it's all personal preference on what it's worth for. Unless you take the option for the $25 lightning lane and take your chances and roll the dice on even being able to get a lightning lane for these. So I kind of figure if you're only here every so often for an annual pass holder, might not be worth it. But as a tourist, if you want to do everything, if you're only here, especially if it's like a once in a lifetime trip, I could see why it would make sense. I cannot, however, as much as I approve of the low 100 price point, once it starts getting up into the high hundreds and the $200 and $300 and $400 rate, do not think that makes a lot of sense. All right, making my way back to the car. I ended up getting a different shirt than I was looking at earlier. Heading out. Quick little stop into Hollywood Studios, talking about my thoughts on the new price points, etc. And that's gonna do it for today. And I believe when they finally release this new program, depending on the price point, if it's during the slow time, even though I bet probably end of October and November and December it's going to be closer to that 400 price point, which I probably will not be doing. If it gets down to the $100 price point mark, I'll give it a try. See if it works, see how it works. Well, that's going to do it for today. I'll see you in the next video. The vlog is over. Bonus footage. It's pretty windy out. I'm kind of surprised that the Skyliner is running right now, as windy as it is. Gusty today. A lot of gusts going on. This is the shirt I got. Thought it was cute. It's the bird from Mickey and Minnie Runaway. It's not the orange bird, but it is a orange bird. They could probably be friends. It says just winging it. Love it. All right, even more bonus footage. Update. It appears as if the price point is based on which park you go to. So a lot of sites online are reporting the prices. The $129 ticket is during off season just for Animal Kingdom. If you want to do Hollywood Studios, it's anywhere between $270 and $350 a day. Epcot between $170 and $250 a day. And Magic Kingdom, the lowest tier price in the off season will be $329 up to $450 a day. So yeah, the only one close to $129 is Animal Kingdom, which I don't even know if it's worth having Lightning Lane at Animal Kingdom. It might be for some. Again, it all depends on personal situation, but if you want Magic Kingdom, the least expensive day at a non-peak time for the new Premier Lightning Lane for one park is $329 per person. Sad Trumbo.